they really just want to try and get their kicks. Is like, we're going to be the first team that's successful, with this lineup, because I remember we saw it a lot with Draven. The first week I was like, everyone's just like, oh man, Draven's so awesome. He has all this damage so early on. How could we possibly lose? Very easy, because you're just out of position all the effing time and you're getting caught.
Yeah, there have been a number of people who have been able to use that advantage over time, though.
Yeah.
And leverage that. I mean, number one being Aftermood, clearly, but we'll see. I'm kind of curious whether or not how quickly we'll see any changes to Zero, or if she'll kind of fall into place and people just start to recognize how to play with her. But it's just, she seems so strong. Like, her whole kit, her snare is just incredible. Like, the fact that you can shoot it over minions and hit multiple targets is very, very powerful. And then she has clearly the follow-up damage as well.
So it's looking like carbon copy bans so far. As we had game number 1, TF, Oriana, LeBlanc, a lot of mid champs, all going to be taken out of that pool. Karthus still going to be taken out of the pool. So if Alternate wants to ban out the Zera, they're going to be leaving the Shen open here. But they may go with the same bans once again. But remember, Curse is on first pick this time. They could very well just first pick Zera if it is left open.
Yeah, we'll have to see. There's a number of really strong champions still available. Zero, namely, like we've been talking about, but Alistar,
yes.
Nocturne, but we haven't really seen a lot of Nocturne play recently. He actually has not done very well recently, but he's a very strong overall jungler. Ahri's a pretty common ban as well, but I don't know. We'll have to see where they're going to go.
Yeah, the Alistar game one, this Mamuna was just so good, so good with that Alistar, being very aggressive, very early on. Just like, what? I don't need red buff. Let's just go for kills.
Yeah.
Let's just go right now. And it worked. Shen Yobi ban, no Zero ban.
Yeah, so Curse will be able to pick up Alistar with that first pick.
Nocturne's open too.
But we'll have to see if Alternate, they can look at the situation and be like, okay, well, they have Alistar. Now here's a couple of champions we can pick up. We can maybe potentially, take the Zera. Alternate can potentially, pick up some of those other champions. But we'll have to see. There are a number of very strong champions left open. I don't know if Realm Lord's been playing him, Zera. I mean, it's been so recent. I assume he has been, but she is still fairly new.
So here's a very sticky situation for Curse. They have to make a choice, either Zero or Alistar. They have to make a choice, because whichever one they don't take, they're giving up.
Yeah.
There it is. There's the Alistar pick coming in from Alternate.
That's really surprising. I mean, so Zero clearly has been very strong, but there's like the standard. There's your standard for how strong a champion is. Zero being first picked over Alistar as the mid champion. So that's kind of interesting. Alistar is an incredibly strong jungler. He could potentially get some engages onto Zera and try and shut her down a little bit. But Alternate, okay, so they are going to grab Alistar and Rumble. Definitely two really strong picks for them. We'll see if Curse can finish that off top with another Yorick pick.
So Alternate going to try their luck again with the Rumble, but now they have Alistar for even another layer of CC. But Curse, it worked with the Yorick before. Yorick versus Rumble actually worked out really well. So I think you're going to try that. It was going to be same lane set up top lane just as last time. And Anguish did pretty well, but he's not going to have those Alistar ganks available to help him out. So we'll see how that goes. Nunu also being secured once again for Curse.
Yeah, really nice pick there. I would expect with Alternate to probably grab a Sona and Corki. That worked out well last time. But here's a difference in the situation. Yorick did very well against Rumble, and Yorick, counters out Rumble in a lot of situations in lane. But now without Alistar for those ganks, maybe Moon thinks that he can do a little bit better in lane. And I mean, he was very far behind very quickly, and so as a result, Yorick was able to just punish him. But if they can keep an even lane matchup, if he doesn't fall behind, maybe that'll be an okay situation for them. Going with Gragas, I actually really like this idea. It's pretty interesting. The mobility will allow him to keep out of Zera's range, but then also he can just farm with the best of them and has that range harass.
Yep, he can farm pretty safe, and all of the extra damage to pile onto all the CC that's coming in. Because Alistar, when he comes in for a gank in mid, the best thing you can do is just have an AP champ who's capable of doing huge amounts of damage in a very short time. And the Fat Man is definitely capable of doing that. And right now, Curse, they pretty much have the same team as they had game 1, is just a jungler trade. And Maokai having it be on Curse this time, that's a lot of AoE damage that that can be prevented with the barrel, with the Rumble ult, with the Corki.
Yeah, it is a pretty significant jungler trade, though, so we'll have to see how that's going to have an impact on this game, because Maokai, he does have very aggressive ganks as well as Alistar, but Alistars are a little bit more immediate. You get off the headbutt, and it's just, it has a faster movement speed and everything than the Twisted Advance, and then also you have the AoE follow-up with the Pulverize. So, you know, having that AoE comboed very well with Xera's AoE, it allowed them to control the fights. You know, Maokai is a very strong pick, but, you know, they won't have quite the same AoE. Maokai's not quite as tanky as Alistar, though he is naturally really tanky as well. But we'll see how they do it. I know Ferelnor does play a lot of Gragas, so I'm excited to see how that mid lane's going to go. But I really think the big thing is he just wants to be able to keep out of those snares.
Yep. Maokai, yeah, it's true. Maokai may not be as tanky, but he's surprisingly sustainy because he does have that passive in the middle of these fights. He's going to be regenning quite a bit, but that depends on him staying around in these fights, not being immediately focused out, and you know, being actually able to get those attacks in when and where necessary.
Yeah.
So you have that, but the Nocturnal Ass has been left open, did escape the bans this time around,
Yeah,
and
so
Altar's got to pick him up. So Alistar support down bot lane.
Yeah, so they will miss out on some of that ganking potential, but I think they're comfortable with that. Nocturne still has fantastic ganks.
Oh, yeah.
And a big thing is that Nocturne, you know, versus Maokai is a pretty common matchup. Nocturne has a little bit more of better jungling speed, so he's more of a control jungler. But then having the mobility to be able to counter-initiate versus Maokai will definitely be huge. So now, instead of going with that Corki Sona, they have more of a kill bot lane. So they have, you know, great burst damage. Ashe is definitely vulnerable if they can get in range. Ashe has the range with the volley that she should generally be okay. However, if Alistar can take control of the brush and then force a fight on top of Slepper, then Slepper will go down very, very quickly. They have the follow-up damage to take him out. So we'll have to see how that works.
But this is the advantage of one of the advantages of having the Nunu support with that Blood Boil. You do have a lot of extra movement speed, and we've seen the matchup against champs like Urgot, where you rely on getting that acid, getting your hits in where you need to, and the movement speed lets you be a little bit more slippery, lets you get out of worse situations a little bit quicker, and hopefully they'll be able to use it to their advantage and get away from the grasp of Alistar before he starts shoving his head in your face.
All right, well, we'll be able to take a look at this game. I'm definitely excited to see how Queso will do. You know, he did look very strong in that last game. I actually was messaged. I didn't realize this. I guess I'll hold off for a second, but you know, it should be an interesting matchup. Alternate, they have great AoE damage. They have, you know, great initiation. So their initiation's a lot better than the last game, which is one of their benefits. Both Ashe and Xera have great kiting, like we saw in the last game. But now Nocturne can force a fight. Rumble can still force a fight like last game, but Gragas and Alistar can also force initiation and, you know, just quickly clear up those fights. So we'll see how that impacts things. But right now, I'm really liking Alternate's team.
It's looking pretty good. I mean, and you have so much damage coming in from the Rumble, from the Gragas, from the Corki. It's just, but if they do the same thing they did last game, if you catch someone out successfully, they're gonna have a better success rate, I think, here because they have that much more damage than last time. Granted, last time, yeah, you had the Rumble, you had the Corki, but you know, and Nivea also going straight for the AP. It helped out. It helped out immensely, but I think, you know, in the end, you had all that early kills. You had the early egg gone immediately. It really hindered them.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true. I mean, they started off very poorly in both top and mid, and they were able to get some advantages in the bottom lane, but those hard starts, they were able to abuse them. So we'll see. I mean, I think a big thing is that Gragas is a little bit safer to farm than Nivea. You know, Nivea is very safe as well, but Nivea is a little bit more blue reliant on than Gragas is. Gragas can take Wraiths a little bit more easily than Nivea can, just because of his mobility. So you can move around and not have to worry about ganks quite as much. You know, against Maokai is usually going to be a really aggressive gank, and Maokai comboed with Xera. You know, they have the follow-up snare, so Maokai can force a twist advance, and then Xera gets the easy snare, so that's always a nice matchup. But we'll have to see if they can force that. So it's, I mean, Gragas, I think, has the mobility. He should be able, as long as he keeps a patient eye on things, he should be able to back off.
Yep. So we'll see how things do go. But yeah, the Xera is Zera could definitely spell doom. It's a big threat to have, and also we're gonna have the rematch top lane, the York versus the Rumble once again. Saw how that went. Just rushing that Manamune was just not a good situation.
Yeah, no, it was really abusive. And again, York does have a nice advantage in that lane. But Moon, I think he'll be okay as long as he can keep him back. He did do pretty well in that game as the game progressed. It's just that he was so far behind in the lane. So if he can keep it even through the early levels, then he should be okay.
And at least now the Alistar's on their side, so that's one less thing to really be too concerned about. Granted, Maokai he can do those tricky ganks behind tower if he gets the situation just right. You push the creep wave up, and you just come in from behind, get the twisted advance in, and it can do wonders.
Yeah, and it is interesting. I mean, Curse still has a penchant for forcing fights in the top lane, and that's something that they've always kind of done. Is they tower dive top and really focus on the top lane a lot. We've seen a lot of teams start to do that more and more. But it used to be, Maluno comboed with Extinct walking up there, but still Maluno is comfortable doing it, just himself in this situation. We'll see if that continues this game and whether or not. Maokai Nocturne can try and counter that out some. So he recognizes that they're going to put pressure on the top lane. So usually as a jungler, you don't want to be sitting up near the top lane. But if Nocturne can counter out that top aggression, that could really work for Rumble's advantage. They could maybe even turn those fights around and pick up a number of kills.
He also had Munu actually doing a lot of camping down bot lane game 1 as well, but he did have the oracles and just kind of that's when Sona was feeding him the seeds like you would with the pigeons at a park. He's like, oh, you have an oracles, you're right there. Just have a few snacks. Come on, stick around for a little while. I want the company. But we'll see. Also, once again, I think the early oracles last time was a result of all those early kills, the early advantage that Curse had. But you may see them just do it again, knowing very well that alternate they're going to be having that ward coverage. They're going to have it everywhere. It's just going to make your ganks that much easier.
Yeah, so both teams doing a nice job keeping an eye on those race. The sapling, just barely dying. He did not complete his life's mission, but they will be able to come back and get the blue buff for Nocturne. Maokai's going to be fine with his jungle. They're not forcing to engage with the Alistar. I think the concern is just that how strong Zera and Ashe are level 1. They don't want to give up any early advantages, but they will be fine. They will be pretty safe in their lanes.
Yep. And you have Malunu, he's going the safe route. So he's starting out with the Wolves, not starting out with Raids, just so you have enough time to get to the blue, start it, be fine. And just in case alternate decides to go in really aggressive for an invade over onto Wraiths, looking for the red buff. And did Relnor just start with he started out with the charge there. Just kind of did it right into the log. It's like, yeah, I need to get my daily exercise for today. Just need to work the upper body.
Yes, and again, it's that mobility will be really nice for him later. Nocturne will be able to grab this blue. Let's see if they give him a hard leash and if he's going to hold on to that smite or not. It seems like he's going to hold on to it, but we'll see. So yeah, he is actually going to hold on to it. So that opens up opportunities where he could go for a quick invade against Maokai. Or he could just go for a fast level 3 on his own jungle, go up to that red buff. And that opens up really strong ganking possibilities in that top lane.
Yep. But remember, there are some wards over by the Wraiths. It's just a matter of will Nocturne actually get spotted. No, he's going the long way around. So he will not be spotted as he's going on in for the red. So right now, Curse, they're a little bit in the dark about where Alternate's going to be in terms of the jungle, where he's going to be heading in terms of ganking. So he could just appear magically top lane with the red buff very soon, and with that smite, he's got it now, moving on in, and Unso's looking to be aggressive, and I think he's going for the level 3 top.
Yeah, it's going to be a really aggressive gank. Rumble is pretty weak in these early levels, but even so, Nocturne should have enough damage to take down Anguish on his own. They are chasing him down. They have the Flame Spitter. Anguish taking a lot of damage. The Exhaust, the Fear actually just barely proccing, so Anguish not able to get off the flash. He does go down. A lot of damage being exchanged down bot, but Maokai is setting up in the mid, looking to see if he can get that gank.
So it could very well be a flip-flop of what happened in game 1. So now Rumble, with that early assist, the early kill going down top lane, might see the tides turning just a little bit and see Anguish there in the defensive position now this time around. But we'll see where the rest of the game goes from here. And with that kill, Unso's going back to the jungle, looking for a little bit. And you also got Malunu getting really aggressive, going for the wolves in the enemy territory.
Yeah, being able to recognize that Nocturne wasn't there, definitely a nice decision on his part. But Nocturne sitting up top once again.
Oh,
Angus
man.
just going to walk right into it, not quite able to get in there, so he's barely able to drop off the ward. Really nice job there. But like you were saying, Rumble versus York in that top lane, with the early advantage, Rumble snowballs very quickly. And there is a point in time in that matchup where normally Rumble will have enough damage where he can just start chasing York away. Last game, we didn't really see it that much because York was constantly able to abuse Rumble and play defensively. But this game, that could definitely be the case a little bit later. Right now, Angus is at a serious advantage, even with that early kill for Moon, though.
And even remember game number 1, you also had the assist on him as well, so he's actually entering lane just a little bit stronger than you usually would. Unso making his appearance known in the mid, putting up the shield just in case Aka decides to get a little quick burst on him. But Malunu does see him return into his own jungle. That's his opportunity to go ahead, move in, make it a Twisted Advance onto Pharrell Lord. There you go. The bust away and the flash. The Twisted Advance still follows, following up with the root. A lot of damage going on to the Gragas, but he will back off just for a little bit, chug a few drinks. He'll be fine.
Yeah, really nice call from Pharrell and Lord, recognizing he needed to use both of those abilities to get out of there, because otherwise he would have gone down. Actually, they're chasing down Noah Fiel, though. One more attack, he will go down. The exhaust on the Corki, so they're able to exchange damage very well, but just a little bit out of position. That's the range advantage over Alistar. They're able to harass him down and wear him down, but really nice job there. Still, kind of surprised that Pharrell and Lord didn't go down in that mid lane, but really nice play on his part. And you saw just how much damage Zero has, and we saw it in the previous game, and in this game too. He did heal up pretty nicely, but even so, he's out of health pods. A similar gank without that ward or without that flash could prove fatal.
Now, here's the weird thing about Noah is that he entered lane doing the going full on commitment into the wards. No fairy charm, just straight out all wards and health pots. And that's the thing, alternate bot lane, they're not being all too aggressive here. And usually when you stock up on wards like that, you get the pinks. You also want the greens. You're using the pinks to go ahead and clear out ward coverage from the enemy team just so you can increase your position. But you're standing by and being pushed to tower. You're not getting the full effectiveness of this. And because of that, you're also, you didn't have the boots earlier. Now Noah's got the boots, so he's going to be a little bit more mobile. But look at this. This aggressive lane is being forced to tower.
Yeah, and he's really far behind on his gold. So Alistar doesn't really need a lot of gold, but I don't know, Zinnik is just at a serious advantage right now on those gold pretends. It'll be a while before Noah Fiel is able to get a Philosopher's Stone. So we'll see, how that affects his mid-game fighting potential and also ward coverage. So far, Unso's been doing a pretty nice job in the jungle, but he is very close to hitting 6. So we'll see, what kind of added aggression that will bring.
Zinnik out in front. He's being he's got that swagger going on. It's like, yep, you're at tower. You're not leaving. Good luck. See you next time. Angus trying to push back here onto Moon there in the top lane, getting revenge, trying to deny some of the farm in exchange for that early kill that happened earlier. And Malunu, he's nearby, could Twisted Advance in for the gank, but you do have Unso here with Noah looking to chunk out this dragon, take it out real quick. Malunu, I'm not sure if Moon saw him, but now with that slapping, he knows, like, okay, now you're here. But you got 4 members of Alternate here at the dragon, looking to take it out. You got Nocturne actually getting very low. Dragon. I thought the dragon was going to take out Nocturne.
Yeah, it was just one little tick. I don't know if he mathed it out or, but yeah. I think he got a little bit lucky.
Happy mistake.
Just barely surviving there. Even so, it would have been a dragon, so that would have been worth it.
Yeah.
But that's definitely a nice situation for them. Queso grabbing another blue. He can continue to put on that pressure. So we'll see if Nocturne starts to maybe force fights bottom.
Yeah.
It will be kind of tough. Ashe and Nunu, they can get out of those kind of engages pretty easily. They can kite fairly easily. If Nocturne ults in, then Ashe can just flash out. So there's a short window where he could come, but I don't think he's going to hit 6 in that time.
Yeah, Unso, he's got a little while. He's does not have 6, does not have the ultimate. Without the ultimate Nocturne ganks, they can work. You just need to have the right position and actually still get the fear tether off as well. Noah headbutting Zinnik backwards into the tower. A lot of damage coming from Fish. Is going to have to get out of there real quick, forcing out the flash. Good work there.
Yeah, really nice damage exchange from Alternate. And so not allowing the persistent harass, Ashe will win with the steady harass battle because of the range. But, being able to just be aggressive, Ashe Slepper can't quite get the damage that he wants because they're, concerned about dying. So, you know, nice job there. Now they could maybe bully around Ashe a little bit because he has the ward coverage. He knows that Nunu is not there, so he's just going to start zoning her off that creep wave.
Yep, get out of here. Otherwise, you will be headbutted in the face. Getting the hawk shot down just so you can start getting some of that harass in, you know, right before Fish can actually get in a position. But very quickly, though, Fish could be out of mana. So if this harassment continues, force him to shoot out a few missiles or other abilities. And then Slepper and Zinnik could actually start taking, you know, still continue their push on and just keep the aggression up. And Nocturne, though, actually turning his attention back to the top lane, really wants to help it spiral out. And there you go, Nocturne top lane with the ult going down on an Anguish. Fear does proc Moon there. Did use the ultimate earlier, but this Flame Splitter is going to be more than enough. And the ultimate from New York going a little bit to waste here. He's not going to be really getting anything off of that.
Yeah, really nice aggression, and they know they have the initiation. They have plenty of damage with Rumble. So Yorick's kind of in a dangerous situation here because he is out farming Rumble. You know, he is able to harass Rumble down pretty effectively, but Rumble has the kill potential to pick up those kills, and he also has a Haunting Guise. So, you know, just really focusing on that early game. He's probably at around 50 Magic Pen as a result of that. That's incredibly high.
Let's check that. Let's see here. How much Magic Pen? 29 plus the 10% from the masteries. So it's a decent amount. It's a fair amount. And yeah, there's only so much that you can reduce. Plus you have the passive as well. He's just got so much damage available to him as is.
And then once he gets Sork Shoes, if he decides to go that route, that will be incredibly strong. Forellan Lord still getting harassed down a little bit in this mid lane, but he's comfortably farming, you know, for the most part. Zira does have a nice advantage there. She is able to steal some minions from Race and stuff. But the big thing is, Curse, they're actually taking this turret, and Zira is coming from behind, looking to force a fight. She could just take them off by herself.
Hawkshot going down. Fish has been spotted. But it looks like Zira, they're not going to get anything really off of this. But they're going to get the tower. They're going to get what they want. But they could also grab Forellan Lord looking to try and help. But wards in the river will actually prevent that. 2 seeds going into the Decisive brush as well. And remember, those seeds, they do give you vision. They are fantastic wards in the mid lane. If you need them, you just go ahead, place them down. And you're going to see Akka actually hugging that side of the lane. You know, as long as those seeds remain, just to be a little bit safer from potential ganks coming from Unso.
Yeah, so it will be very difficult for him to force and engage. You know, Nocturne has the mobility. He should be okay. Otherwise, Maluno stealing some more wolves. He's able to get the big one there. He is hanging out, though, trying to back off. Alternate going to chase him out a little bit, so he's going to be fine. But I don't know, we'll see if Curse can now use the advantage bot to try and translate into that into advantages around the lane and try and snowball some turrets. Part of the issue is going to be that Gragas can stall very easily, so you know, we'll see. I think if they come mid though and they have an Ashe arrow to Gragas followed up with Zira's damage and her snares and whatnot, they could pick up a quick kill and then just focus down the turret very quickly.
So you do have Slepper now making an appearance top lane. The arrow is up, going right down on the Moon. Hawkshot, just make sure it's safe, and it is. And Zinnik there top lane with the exhaust, wants to keep him behind. Slepper still poking out a lot of damage to Nunu ult just for a little bit of a slow, a little bit of damage. Are they going to dive this? No, they will not. That's a lot of damage going down onto Rumble, though, just for the pushback. But Unso is here. Ultimate is not up yet. A few more seconds. 3, 2, 1, it will be. But Forellan Lord with the barrel. Nice flash from Slepper. Amazing.
Yeah, and in the meantime, there's been a fight going on bottom. Maluno and Anguish, they're able to hold them off a little bit, so just tanky enough that they're able to survive that. But Zira is coming down bottom, trying to cut off Corki and Alistar. Anguish is still in pursuit. He wants to keep vision, and he wants to keep that slow, but Zira will be able to finish this up. Where's the ultimate? Oh, the flash from Fish, barely getting out of there. Alistar will go down, but Zira almost going down. The snare able to pick him up. Oh, okay,
the Ignite got it.
The Ignite just barely goes down, but they still pick up 2 kills.
2 for 1. It's still good. And actually, what happens if you grab the blue buff while you're gold?
I don't know. I doubt she gets it, but it used to be the case.
Wait.
I don't know if they've changed it with Zira. I'm assuming she doesn't get it. It used to be the case with both Cog and Karthus that you could actually get buffs while you're in your passive.
Really?
But they fixed that a long time ago. So I would hope that they fix that isn't the case with Zira, that they didn't like make that same mistake again. But that was the best thing with Cog.
Akka could have been a jerk. They could have just grabbed the buff with the passive.
Yeah.
It was like, you know what? You know, I got you. I got you guys those kills. This blue's mine. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, I'm dead. Never mind.
Cog. One of the funny interactions with Cog was back when ADs used to go mid lane a lot, you'd see Cog mid a lot, and he was very strong because of his range. He could win most lane matchups. We do see they might try and force a fight. The Pharrell Lord body slam trying to get in. Angus is kind of caught off, though. They have the angle. They will back off, so they will be okay. So actually, I'll hold off on that story for a bit because they are positioning themselves for this fight here.
From Lord's out in the middle alternate. There comes a Nocturne ult right there on the Angus. Does get the fear, but there you go. The Malunu with the ult trying to protect as much damage as possible, but they move on out. Ash Arrow not getting anything off of that one, so Fish is very low. The slam going to keep him behind, and the kill, there you go, going to be happening. So 1 for 1 so far. Corki and York both down, but From Lord wants more damage. He wants that barrel and saving it for Malunu. Going to use the Twist Advance down just to keep him still for a little bit, and so far advantage alternate.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Alternate was able to make it out of there. So, really nice job. They're able to chase down Anguish, but they were getting pretty low.
Yeah.
Fish did go down, so in my mind, that's a better trade for Curse. They're able to get the 80 carry, but then they weren't able to capitalize on Nocturne, and Nocturne with the shield was able to back out of there.
No.
Pharrell Lord chasing after Zinnik. He does have his ultimate, though. It will slow him down a little bit, but he will be okay.
Yeah, and yeah, unfortunately, the ult just did not get the full proc and didn't do a whole lot to Pharrell Lord, namely because he now has the Negatron cloak. He's working for that. He's working for that Abyssal. That's going to be a lot of damage coming in when he actually does finish that. But in the meantime, though, you do have Akka with all of those seedlings trying to get some more damage. And here comes Moon. The Z ult up. Ult is up. Akka needs to go make a little bit of a juke and will die very quick. The ult will still proc and going to be missing the passive, not getting any damage from alternate, but there's not really a whole lot that can be done right now.
Yeah, really nice job from alternate coming back into this game, not allowing Curse to bully them around. The Curse does have a 2-tower advantage, and that was the benefit of sending the dual lane up top and switching with Yorick. Yorick can still control the lane pretty well. He is getting some nice harass here while they are trying to pressure this dragon, so it stalls them off a little bit. They'll still be able to take it. It's a 5v2.
Yep.
But so Ash, in the meantime, though, Slepper just going to keep pushing. And,
don't mind me.
He might actually be able to take this with this next wave. I think he has enough damage. He's going to have the minions, and there's the dragon, but they definitely have to get up there quickly. Unso, he does not have his ultimate, so he won't have that hard engage. So we'll see if they can grab him. But actually, an engage from Maokai. He jumps into Pharrell Lord, the ultimate back underneath the turret. They get the body slam as well. They're chasing them. Pharrell Lord pretty low, but Rumble has plenty of damage to follow this up. Maokai, though, clearing out some space, doing a pretty nice job there, but they're not able to follow up on it. So alternate, they're able to come in with the kill. Really nice job. Top turret very low, but Slepper needs to back out now.
Yeah, Slepper, he's still a little bit hungry, and he's starting to tunnel vision
Actually,
in.
you know what? He could just hang out.
He could hang out just for a little bit. Is the arrow up? Arrow is up. Could use it for an escape. Looking to just push the creep wave, but Pharrell Lord is not too far behind. This could be a very bad spot. Pharrell Lord could just go on over. Are they going to make their right prediction? They're going to see Slepper leave and realize, oh, man, I should have thrown that barrel.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that they would have been able to pick up the kill. It was pretty close. They're both very low. Yeah. Ash, could almost take them down pretty quickly, and then with the arrow, it would have been a dangerous situation. But going back, all right. So story time.
Story time.
Kog'Maw, when ADs used to be mid, Kog'Maw was a fun mid, and one of the cool interactions with Kog'Maw is you actually get first blood off of your passive. Like if someone kills you and then you kill them with your passive, you don't count as dying until after your passive has finished. So you could die first. You could give up first blood and then very easily kill someone with your passive, and you would always get the first blood gold and experience. So that was always a cool thing. And then you could do the same thing with like buffs. If a jungler comes in and ganks, you get the kill, you get the first blood, you keep the buffs through your passive. It was kind of an interesting interaction.
Weird. Huh.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
alternate, they've been able to pull this game up. They are 1K down, but they're very strong at this point. Rumble 3-0-1 and 94 CS. Still a little bit behind on farm from the Yorick harass, but miles of improvement from the previous game, and that's just absolutely huge. They really have some nice AoE, and they have the great initiation that they didn't really have last game. They couldn't force fights last game against Curse's team, so we'll see how that works out. Slepper is sitting here lying in wait, though. He has the Ash Arrow. If Pharrell Lord will not be able to dodge out of the way, it's going to be close.
Yep. Hey, this last game, game one, alternate. They did have a great team though to try and catch anyone who's off guard and secure those kills. Oh, but here's the thing though, Slepper could very well make something happen there. No, Valley will not hit and will not get the slow on Unso, but they're still hanging around Baron. seeing, trying to force a fight if they can. And Angish is down bot lane, looking to free for him just a little bit, but Fish will be down there to dissuade just a little bit and eat up some of that wave for himself as well. Fallen Lord and Zinnik doing a little bit of a dance over in the bush. No drinks to be handed out just
It's the
yet.
safety dance.
There you go.
Fallen
Lord, he's throwing down the ward. Malunu does have the oracles, but I think missed it there. So he's going to be actually leaving. And he got Slepper and Fish possibly dueling it out. And Corky's just going to go ahead and back up. But you see all of Alternate, they're mobilizing down right out in front of the Dragon Pit, seeing if they can't force something. And Zira's on her own.
Yeah, and Ash doing a nice job farming. Wants to be able to force out that Infinity Edge as fast as possible. So she's pretty close to that. She's just 400 gold off, so she'll be able to force that. Ash actually throwing off the arrow. Fish with the Valkyrie, but still does get hit. But Alistar is off on the side. Fish getting very low. Anguish with the flash. The flash from Corki as well. One more attack. Nice. They're able to pick that up, but there's the Pulverize, and now Nocturne and Rumble have the follow-up. The engage, the fear on the Slepper. He will go down very quickly. Anguish, the only survivor, he'll go down as well, but actually can Ash pick up the kill as the Ghoul trying to get it? One more volley will grab it, but just barely not able to finish that off.
Oh, wow. No. Wow, that was very close. If that kill happened, it maybe would have been worth it. But you do have Malunu there getting caught out with the barrel, but no follow-up coming from Fallen Lord, unfortunately. So 2 for 1, not worth it, really. Yeah,
no, it's a dangerous engage. They thought they could take down Corki a little bit, more quickly, but they weren't, aware of really where the rest of the team was present. And Nocturne having that long-range engage made it very easy for them to force a fight. Zira has some nice vision here. Did spot them, I believe, so heading up, but they're not going for Baron, so they'll be able to pressure this tower. With this minion wave, they'll be able to take that down pretty quickly.
Yep, Crown Lord is there from behind, and see if they can't force anything out, or see if they can't catch someone off guard. Moving on up to try and defend a turret. You'll see Moon's not actually showed himself quite yet. There he goes, and realizes, okay, this tower should be going down pretty quick. Let's go ahead and grab it. Akka, meanwhile, in the mid. We can take that tier 1. But Crown Lord could be caught here. Zinnik and Malunu are there. Twisted Advance going down onto the Fat Man. Anguish is here also with the damage. The slow trying to make something happen here to flash away just a little bit. And the barrel actually picking up Malunu very well. That is an Oracle's down.
Yeah, really nice play from Pharrell and Lord. Zero did get mid pretty low, trying to come up at the end there to, help with that fight, but just a little bit behind. And, even with the 3v1, Pharrell and Lord knew how to just push it the right ways. The game is very even right now, but Alternate, they have an incredibly strong comp. The big thing is if they can get an engage on Zero. If they can shut her down at the beginning of the fight, then they can quickly win those fights. And they have the ranged initiation that they should be able to do it. So, key for Curse, just kite and use Nunu and Ash to really keep Zero alive. But we'll see how effectively they can do it.
Yeah, hopefully. And Ash got a little bit of damage on her own. Does have the Infinity Edge, got the Vamp Scepter too for a little bit of that sustain. So hopefully she'll be able to stick around and get as much damage necessary to go ahead and take out at least someone, at least a little bit better than last time, because I can't believe that. I still can't believe that kill didn't happen on Unso, their bot lane. That was a little bit ridiculous. Arrow coming on in, gonna keep Moon still to his advance there for the follow-up and Rumble ult in that. Just trying to keep everyone behind, waiting for the rest of Alternate to come on in and join in. Pharrell Lord was not with the team. He actually went back to base, but here he is now. So far, Curse, they have their 1 kill. Going over the wall, and Fish going to be caught in that ult from Zira. Going to be popped up, but will not die. Unso now in the middle of the fight. Fear Tears going down on the Slepper. Has been ghouled by the York, so going to be sticking around for a little bit longer. Got Anguish there. Does get that kill. Helps out with Corki, but in the end, though, it's going to be a huge advantage for Alternate there.
Yeah, the headbutt from Alistar killing Corki there, knocking Yorick back into him. But even so, Alternate, really nice job. And Akaiso, he was able to get some nice quick burst damage, but they weren't able to follow up on it. He was picked off, and there was the thing. Alternate was able to pick him off very quickly. He was a little bit too close to the front line. They do grab a turret off of it. They will be able to grab the dragon as well, and be able to press their gold lead. So really nice job. And they have the mobility, and they have the CC initiation where they can control those fights, which they couldn't do last game. It's going to be kind of difficult for Curse, but Curse still has great initiation with the Ash Arrow. They still have strong kiting potential, so they need to just control the fights a little bit better.
Oh, Pharrell Lord actually getting caught out. The sapling going to give all the vision Malunu needs. He wants revenge. It's like, damn you for making me lose that Oracles. I'm going to make you pay, but actually, never mind. Here's Moon. I'm going to back off.
Yeah, so nice job being able to retreat, but oh, Balloon, the ability cancels, but there it is. He's able to follow up once again. Rumble has plenty of damage, but there's the arrow. Lord is going to go down.
Nice.
Balloon will follow, but the rest of the team is here. Nunu being chased out by Corki, but the flash in for Moon can't quite grab him. Uses the ultimate trying to get off that slow, so only a 1-for-1 trade. But it was Maluno versus Lord, so
yeah,
you know, Lord off a little bit more beneficial.
Yep. I am so I'm noticing a lot of these arrows coming in from Curse. And yeah, it's a fantastic initiation tool, but up until that last fight, mostly like the prime target was actually Rumble, and Moon has actually managed to get a little bit tanky. He's got the Rylai's now. His headhunting guys now getting the chain vest, maybe going for something like a Zhonya's even. But you do have Curse. They're still considering their options. They started up on the Baron, but decided to back off. And now they're just going to double back, and I think just try and regroup, try and shop, try and just recover and see if they just can't push a lane or something. Because if it's a little bit too soon for the Baron, and they granted, yeah, Zero has a lot of damage. You have a lot of damage coming in on Ashe, but if a fight breaks out, you're going to be needing Zero there for all that fight control for the ult and for the CC.
Well, and the big issue for them is even if they can take out Baron, which they have a pretty strong Baron team, Gragas is one of the best champions in the game at stealing Baron. His Q into an ult combo just has so much damage. So they can force a fight at Baron pretty easily. Zero can just constantly wear down Baron with her trees, and they won't get low. So that's a nice little benefit. They don't have to worry about getting low before the fight. But there's the Gragas ultimate already going off. Didn't have any vision. The ward had just died, but gets some nice damage just poking him down a little bit. It does have a very short cooldown.
It does have a short cooldown, but that's just the fact that Lord used it does speak to the position that Alternate's in. They don't have quite enough vision as they'd like to. It was a little bit just as a vision gaining tool, not really there for the damage. Just be like, oh, what are they doing? Do they have anything here? Is there anything here for me to steal quite yet? Unfortunately not, but yeah, like you said, it's going to be back up very soon, so you can go ahead and afford to do stuff like that.
Yeah, so we'll see. They are, kind of low as a result of that barrel. Was able to wear them down a little bit. It did stall them some, and so they can, try and force a fight. I think the big thing is that they don't necessarily have to force a fight. Nocturne actually engaging onto Queso will take him down very quickly. In the meantime, Maokai getting caught up top. The Ashe arrow, it will take down Nocturne here along with that damage from Zero, but it's a 2-for-1 exchange because Yorick was caught out up top. The rest of his team engaged one way and pulled Curse in opposite directions, so really nice job there. The Rubble ultimate trying to force the fight. Lord, he has his ultimate still, so he could get the pullback on the Slipper. If he hits it, just barely, not enough, but it still is enough for them to chase. Alistar with the flash pulverize onto Zinnik. He's taking a lot of damage. Maluno trapping him underneath that turret, but he will have that ultimate to retreat. They have plenty of damage from Gragas. Actually almost going down. One more attack, and Slipper's able to finish it off, but they do have to worry about the barrels because they are all getting very low. Fish out of mana, but Lord with the body slam. There's 1, 2, Lord going down, but they are able to grab 3 kills as a result of it.
If that Sapling got the kill, that would have been so amusing. But yeah, in the end, is a bit of a delayed ace for 2.
Yeah, it was 3 kills at the end for Lord, and or actually for just his trade. They did lose Alistar as well as a result of it, but just slowly wearing them down. Yeah, and taking some really nice advantages. So Curse, they need to be able to pick people off in these fights in order to win fights, but Ultimate, they have the mobility where they're able to not allow Curse to force those fights, and then they have the sustained damage where they can just over time poke people down with both Corki and Gragas. That's a serious issue for Curse right now. We'll see how they can continue to do. So
everyone is still also looking to dance around the Baron areas as well. You got to keep the ward coverage up because Curse, that is going to be their big their big way to come back from this. If anything, they do have a good enough team. If they can manage to just sneak it, if Lord just happens to back, or if he's bot lane for some reason, they could definitely go ahead and grab it. But as you mentioned before, he's a fantastic champ at getting those steals. The barrels at just that much of a short cooldown, you can just throw it off whenever. Noah actually being forced to use the ult here. The damage a little bit too much from Slipper, and the barrel, the big one coming in, not getting a whole lot of anything. Twist Advance coming in from Maluno, going to keep Noah still, and there you go. Nice pick off from Curse.EU.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's exactly what Curse needs to do. And they have the initiation advantage. They get to, generally speaking, force the fights. So if they can pick people off, that's absolutely huge. They have a 5v4. Slepper still has the arrow. If they can pop the shield with the volley, they can follow it up with the Ashe arrow. And there it is with the Maokai advance. Rumble throwing off the ultimate, but they have plenty of damage here. Zero forcing out Corki will get pretty low. They are chasing down with the Nunu ultimate. Moon getting pretty low. Anguish tanking this turret for them. Will actually go down himself, but still it is a 2-for-1 advantage for Curse.
Yeah, I think Anguish could have definitely got out of there a little bit earlier, and he had the ult up too. I think he was just kind of saving it for some reason. If he used it there, he could have just continued to tank the turret and just cleared the way for the rest of the fight, and could have even taken out alternate, but he decided not to use it for some reason. Tank the turret, but now Curse is go ahead, back, shop, recover, and try this all over again. That was a really good fight for him, and look at the gold. The gold is still pretty even here.
Yeah, Alternate did have a slight lead, but Curse able to catch back up a little bit. You know, part of the issue that they're going to have to deal with is the fact that Corki is just so much stronger than Ashe right now. Ashe is incredibly strong herself, but in the 1v1 situations. So Ashe is very strong in the late game. Ashe scales very well into the late game, but the 1v1 situations, Fish has a slight advantage. So he can continue to farm down bottom and take advantages over Ashe, whereas Ashe kind of needs to be with the team constantly. So Alternate can potentially take advantage of that, but we'll have to see. I think the big thing for Alternate is just not allowing their members to get caught out of position, and as long as Curse can be aggressive and force those fights, they can continue to pull back into this game.
Yep. Alternate will go down, grab the dragon while they can. So that's going to be a little bit extra gold in their pockets to take on with them. But you're going to see Curse looking to mobilize here into the mid lane. Ashe is not with them. They need Slepper with them for all that damage. And there you go. It is now with the team. Maludu getting the wards down just for coverage. And you have all of Alternate. They're a little bit split. You got Fallen Lord going for the blue. And then you got the rest of the team here defending in the mid. And right now, Curse, they're making an attempt. The pit is still warded. So right now, Alternate knows, and here they come on up through the river.
Yeah, it's dropping very quickly. The Shirelia's Alistar with the Flash Pulverize getting in the middle of the team, but Maokai followed up. There's the Nunu ultimate as well. They're all caught into it, and Slepper is perfectly fine. All of Alternate is actually getting very low, but I'm not sure whether or not Curse is going to have enough damage, but the arrow for Fallen Lord does drop, and now they definitely do. Anguish able to chase them out. Anguish will go down himself, but Slepper going to clean house. He gets the Corki kill, flashing over the wall. Beautifully done to pick up the Rumble, and can he just barely survive? No, but Nocturne will go down as well. So nice play from Curse.
Wow.
Able to get that ace. They aren't able to get that Baron, but they can push up and take this mid turret.
4 for 5, everything said and done. That was just a crazy, chaotic fight. It was only there are really like 2 fights going on in one there. It's just you had the North River and you had the South River. But still though, that Ashe, that Slepper doing very well, piling on all of the damage all over the place.
Yeah, and they were able to keep Slepper alive, and he has the late sustain damage. He has the range that he can do very well there. Having a GEA as well is absolutely fantastic, along with the Zeke's Herald from Nunu. So he has the sustain in the fights. As long as he can keep himself alive in the back line. Same thing with Zera. Zera and Ashe need to keep themselves alive, but they have Nunu, Yorick, and Maokai. And Nunu is one of the best champions in the game at protecting those backliners. And Queso, I wonder if he's actually going to do it. So now that Maluno and Zinnik are here, you saw that last fight, how quickly the Baron went down with those seedlings, so they can again force it. But here they recognize the rest of their team isn't quite there. They see Alternate approaching. They will stop.
Here's the thing too with those seedlings, and that's a big problem with the Baron if you're going to be engaging upon. The moment you leave, he starts to regen. But what you could do is you just keep on popping seedlings there and consistently keep the Baron low if you're doing crazy dances like this.
Yeah, no, that's one of the nice things.
I want to see the attack speed on Slepper. 2.3 with the Zeeks and the Blood Boil and a Phantom Dancer and a green elixir. Holy crap.
Yeah. No, he's incredibly strong at this point, and that's one of the nice things with Blood Boil, particularly on a champion like Ashe, who scales very well into the late game.
Oh, man.
But there's the thing. Slepper is just so incredibly powerful. Anguish, he still has that Oracles. He doesn't want to get picked off here. They don't really want to take too much damage in this pit, but they're able to negotiate that. They're able to get the wards, so really nice job there.
Gotta kill that Slepper. He's just going to be attacking way too damn fast. Just trying to do what he can right there on the outside of the pit. This does amuse me quite a lot, and he's got the GA as well, so this could be so much pain. Alternate, if they want a chance in this next fight, they're gonna have to take him out really quick. And here you go. You do also have alternate recognizing that, yes, members of Curse are going to be entering the Baron pit. Best thing you can do if you're outside is to just aggravate the Baron. Get free damage while you still can. And Slepper just dipping in and out of the pit, clearing down all those wards. Angish does get vision. Everyone from Alter is there around that corner looking around it out. Angish, he's trying to split them up, possibly be a little bit of a bait. He's like, yeah, come on, come for me. I got my ult. What are you going to do about it? 4 seeds looking to be in the pit here, and that's going to be a lot of damage. There's going to be a lot of turrets, and Curse, they're still trying to force this.
Yeah, and Curse, if they had had Angish picked off, that would have been perfect for them because they want Alternate to blow all of their abilities on just one champion. So they don't get the AoE into Zera and into Ashe. They would be able to clear up those fights. So the big thing is they're just able to control this. And the 4 seeds for Zera, if they decide to just force the Baron, they can kill it very quickly. She can just constantly keep the seeds up. So just she has the mana. Every single time the seeds up, she just keeps it up so that when there's an opportunity, she can just quickly force the fight.
You got Moon right out in front with the Flame Splitter trying to see him. Zinnik is actually split away from the rest of the team. If Alternate needs to engage, they're going to have to do it now. Pharrell Nord is still out in front. He has the barrel. He can do something with it, but Zinnik will actually get back to safety. That could have been huge. That could have been a huge misstep. You've seen Zinnik actually be a little bit too far away from the team before. That could have been disastrous, but fortunately enough, he is back with the rest of the team. And now we got a nice little standoff showdown situation here. And Alternate are just going to go a long way around. See if they can't get him from the side. Zera's in the back. Nunu's out in front here. Throne Lord, can he get the barrel? Slepper's in back. No, Anguish will go ahead and eat all of that barrel. And now Alternate, they're out in front of the pit with a little bit of an advantage there in the position.
Yeah, and the big thing is there's a massive push bottom that's going to be very close to taking a turret just because this is stalled for so long. They had the momentum there. Alternate forcing them away, but Curse has the initiation advantage, so when they decide to go in, they can easily force a fight. But both teams know that how important this fight is. This fight could result in a Baron. This fight could easily decide the game, and both teams have been very capable of winning these fights in the past, so Alternate needs to force a special engage.
Realm Lord, he was out of position greatly to decide to bust on over through the wall, and now Curse, they're going to swap positions once again. They're outside, out in front of the pit. You have York out in front, Moon getting a little bit of damage with the Flame Splitter, with those spears. And you're going to see right there in the back, Slepper wants to be safe, realizing that if you get focused down first, the fight could very well be lost. Zinnik being a good
They are split, though.
Being the word, they are split. Slepper, you're away from the rest of the team. This could be bad. Nocturne will come on in, flash away immediately from Slepper. There's an ultimate used there, but Noah goes on in with the pulverize. Lunu there with the ult out in front, and Uso is hungry, wants to get that kill onto someone, anyone, and will not get it. Slepper's just a little bit too strong to handle. Moon out in the back, getting plugged away. Fish over the wall with all those rockets, all the damage, but will not be getting away with it for very long, and the Ghoul barely just getting that kill for Lord, caught with the roots, will be going down here.
Beautiful, beautiful play from Curse, and Slepper was caught out of position, but flashing the team, they were able to regroup, so they did a nice job regrouping on the left side. Alternate just barely surviving there, but now with Yorick, with Zera, and with Ashe, they can easily take this Baron. Slepper can tank it a little bit for them. He has enough survivability.
Ashe
he has the advanced scepter. But the big thing is Slepper wasn't hurt at all in that fight, and they had the massive AoE. It was right up in the front line. All of Alternate had to deal with Nunu and Maokai and all of that AoE damage and Yorick, and they had to waste all of their abilities on the 3 of them. And so as a result, Corki and Gragas and everyone got very low at the beginning of the fight. Ashe was just able to kite them very perfectly, and they have that kiting potential. And just not being able to force the fight onto Slepper or Akeso is just, it's losing it for Alternate. And Curse just doing a fantastic job of keeping positioning.
Not to mention that no kill went on the Slepper, so he still has the GA proc as well. In addition to the Baron buff, which is just ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
It's what else could he still has like 1 Dorn's Blade in his inventory. You're gonna be replacing that BF sword, probably looking for a Bloodthirster laid on in. It's just any amount of damage is gonna be incredible. Absolutely incredible for Slepper at this point. Just gonna be an absolute monster. Last Whisper. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna suck.
Yeah, so really nice job from Curse. They'll be able to, push in very easily with the range advantage that they have. They still have to watch out that they don't force any, don't allow Alternate to force an engage, but I don't know, with that advantage, they don't have to worry so much about being poked down by Gragas. That threat is completely gone, and they can just continue to control the fights as they have. And they have the range with both Zira and Ashe where they can force down the mid turret. They just need to make sure that they constantly reposition themselves and don't allow them to, you know, force an engage. But they could just tank this turret and drop it pretty quickly here if they decide to go for it.
You do have all the pressure. You have the ghouls leading out the charge there. And Slepper doesn't care if you're taking turret shots or not, just wants to go ahead and get that damage in. Volley coming in as well. And there's just more than enough pressure to try and take this out. You have all the ghouls playing out in front, and Alternate can only do so much. Granted, they're doing a pretty good job at clearing the waves, but still, there's a poke coming in on this tower. You cannot hold this off forever.
Yeah, so they can constantly wear them down. Just every wave, you know, getting some nice damage from Slepper. We'll see, you know, how Alternate can hold it off. Gragas is very strong clearing waves. Same thing with Fish, but the Seedlings, it means that they're probably going to, you know, make a little bit of a push here. Slepper gets some just constant damage every single time they go up for this.
Anguish out in front, still trying to get those ghouls to poke on in. Slepper dipping in and out, and here come the Seedlings for all the distraction necessary, for all the damage to flash in from Alistar. Headbutt the Ashe back into the turret, but you still have the GA proc. You're still okay for now, but Anguish and Haka out in front trying to keep it okay, trying to pave the way for Slepper to actually get the safety, and does. Back over through the wall. Fish now caught behind, does have to Valkyrie away, and there you go, 2 quick kills for Curse, forcing all of Alternate back. And Slepper, still in pursuit, is a little bit hungry, wants those kills, taking those turret shots, but the inhib will go down, the push will continue, and I think this may be game.
I hate you, Nick. Really nice play from Curse. They do a really nice job. So I'll say it in a second, but they're able to push down the Nexus. They're all very low. Slepper caught in the middle of the AoE of their team, dropped very quickly, but the massive AoE from Curse was able to get everyone very low. Slepper was able to just walk out of there, you know, even without the flash. Slepper didn't go down, which was just astounding to me. And so they're able to keep him alive. They're able to take 2 inhibitors, and then they have enough time. They should be able to push the Nexus, just the 1 Nexus remaining. And that's actually a really interesting mechanic on Zira that we saw there. The fact that the turrets don't hit the plants. The turrets don't hit the plants. It's only, you know, if champions walk over them. And so when you're forcing down a turret, no champion is going to walk out over and clear out the plants. They're not going to walk out and be like, oh, I got to stop these seeds. So as a result, Zira just waits until she has 4 seeds placed, and they slowly poke down the turret with Ashe, and then when they decide to go in, all of a sudden they just drop all the seeds, and from half-life, they slowly wore it down, and then from half-life down to 0, they just dove on the tower. They were able to take it very quickly. Really nice job there. But going back to the Nick thing, I asked him earlier, you know, what was going on with the Queso. I assumed he was a sub, but I just wanted to ask real quick if, in case it was like a Smurf account for Slepper or for Extinct or something, because Extinct has been very good. The Deathfire's Grass, Slepper almost going down. Pharrell Lord is able to get out of there. The flash out from Slepper, really nice play. Nocturne trying to force the engage. He will get him to Slepper. One more attack. He forces the flash as well. They're able to grab that, but Curse actually might be in a dangerous situation there. Anguish does go down. Queso trying to retreat. If they get the fear again, the bind, they have plenty of AoE damage. The Nunu ultimate will get someone to, and so they're able to pick up that kill. Really nice play, turning it around for Curse. So back to the story. I was asking about Queso, and Nick told me Curse just announced that they kicked Extinct off the team for, you know, various issues, and that Queso, they're trying him out as a member. And I was just like, what the hell? What is going on? Because Extinct's been such a huge member of Curse, and so I was very surprised. And I was close to announcing it, and I decided to hold off and just ask him for details and whether or not, you know, it was public information or whatnot. And he was I don't know. He was just, I don't know, being Nick, I guess. That was it. I was like, what the hell is going on? Are you serious? They kicked Extinct, but really nice job from Curse here.
Yeah, Curse, with all this pressure, can just go ahead, focus down the inhibitors. There's a huge, massive minion wave going down in the mid. And granted, yeah, Gragas with those barrels can go ahead and clear all of the yummy minion goodness. You do have the remaining members from Curse pushing up through the mid. And with just one last team fight, they should be able to take this pretty convincingly. All the inhibs are down. You've got 1 Nexus turret still up, and it's looking grim. It's looking very grim here.
Yeah, no, it's been really nice play from both teams, and there was a time when Alternate, they had the AoE where they were able to clear up those fights, and it looked kind of scary for Curse because Zira and Ashe were going down very quickly, but Curse doing a really nice job controlling the fights. They're able to keep their carries alive and just kite very effectively with these champions.
Yep, there you go. Curse out in mid. This should be the last stand. Alternate coming in with the Nocturne ult right down, trying to focus down Slebber, but not won't be happening. There's the Ash Arrow just to guarantee that damage, just guarantee that Sunfish will actually get the kill down on the Maluno. Slebber does actually go down here, but hopefully there should be enough damage coming in from Curse. You got Zira now joined with the rest of the team. There's the ult coming on in. The pop-up, there's one. Should be getting something happening here on Moon as well. Fish out in front with that Gatling gun. And this can only be held off for so long because you do still have the super minions pushing from top, from bot. You can only do so much here.
Yeah, a little bit hasty from Curse, thinking they could, win that engage with the minions and whatnot.
Yep.
It is pushing in pretty aggressively, so Corki's going to have his work cut out for him. They might not be able to even defend this, so Ferelnor doesn't quite have the damage himself. He needs Corki. The Nexus turret is going to go down to the minions. Just one more attack, just barely surviving.
You can do it, little guys.
But
you can do it.
The big thing is Curse, they forced a fight without Zira, and clearly Zira's the linchpin. She gives them a little bit more mobility, that more kiting potential, but then also a little bit of burst damage. So, without Zira, they weren't quite able to, take care of Alternate. Alternate's still able to control a fight very nicely, so it does stall off for a little bit.
Yep. So it's only a little bit of a stall. There's still a huge, huge advantage for Curse at the moment. And Baron is up. They can just go stroll on in, grab it, and then go for the final push, go for the guaranteed push. But yeah, Zira and York will actually be on their way. Seeds being planted. Then there you go. They're just going to start the Baron. It's going to be no big deal here.
Yeah, and it will drop very quickly. It still is just astounding to me how much damage those seeds do. And then when you get 4 of them, how quickly you can take the Baron. So just with Zira, when Slipper's there, they're going to grab that very easily, but they can force the fight in. And with how long these fights are lasting, and how chaotic they are, they should be able to take this Nexus with almost no trouble whatsoever. They have a nice advantage. They can just slowly drop seedlings around the Nexus turret, and then when they decide to go in, just drop them. Push in all of the lanes. This inhibitor is open. It will go down fairly quickly.
Yep, here comes the push with the Baron buff. This, I was saying the last one might be the last one, but I think this one will actually be it. Because you do it with the Baron buff, you have Slipper with the GA proc once again, and there you go, Maluno ult coming down in. Unso going straight on for the Zira, but may not be able to make it out alive. Does have Azonias, and all the damage coming from Slipper will keep him out of the picture. Ult from Ashe coming in, gonna keep Moon slowed, and Noah is gonna have the long run back. Zira ult coming in, guaranteeing that kill. Realm Lord does not have really anywhere to go. Zinnik with the snowball. The last turret is down. The Nexus is naked. Slepper, don't go down here quite yet. Not like this. Valkyrie back into the base from Corki. Nexus is being focused. It is naked. It is exposed. Realm Lord does go down, and this should be it. It's going to be GG. Game 2.
Oh, one more kill.
No. The match going to Curse.EU. Good job, guys.
Yeah, really nice play from Curse. Alternate, they looked incredibly strong as well.
Yep.
Nice pickups for the second game, but Curse able to take it in the end. I'm definitely excited to see how they continue to progress as a team. They've been looking really impressive lately. Those 2 matches, I've been astounded. And they looked very similar to a lot of what we've seen from M5, where M5 is able to control these very long fights and just constantly kite and cycle out their members, which is really nice to have that kind of coordination in the fight and be able to, cycle out your members, a number of them getting pretty low but not quite going down. So there you have it. They are able to pick up that game. Really nice play all around. 18.6k gold for Ashe.
Oh, Slapper.
Very farmed.
So good. Did so well, and I was just so amazed at how well Slipper was doing in those later team fights.
Yeah.
2.3 attack speed on an Ashe with all of that crit coming in is just... That's just silly. That's awesome.
And they're able to protect her. So that was the big thing. There were a couple of really nice fights for Alternate where I thought they were going to be able to take it. And key in mind was the one where Nocturne dove onto Ashe, and half their team went, or Nocturne went to Ashe, was able to 1v1 Ashe, and then the rest of the team stole Anguish on the side. So they were able to gang up on him. They were able to pick up that kill. But really nice job from Alternate. They were able to, take a number of advantages, just weren't quite able to finish it off. Curse finishing off in the end. That one fight by Baron where it was like a 4-minute standoff, little Mexican standoff.
Nice little dance.
That was
right in front there.
That was intense. And they almost picked off Ashe. They almost were able to grab it. They were split, but Curse doing a nice job of regrouping.
That's actually a nice little primer about positioning at objectives.
Yeah.
Because you saw Alternate actually go the long way around past Curse's blue buff to actually get a better positioning and actually be at the gate of Baron to just try and gain a positional advantage. Very masterfully done. And if you need to know, if you want to learn a little bit more about positioning objectives, because you can do the same thing at Dragon as well, just go back when we got the VODs up and take a look at that again. That was fantastic.
Yeah,
but that's that coming up next. So Curse.EU is going to be moving on round of 4 Alternate. They will be staying in the elites. They're out for the rest of this tournament, but they're going to be staying here. But coming up next on stream, Fnatic versus Existence. That's going to be pretty good. Going to have a little bit of a longer break where we're going to be getting that match set up for you next. But in the meantime, though, remember, IGN.com/IPL. Go to the news section and scroll on down. You're going to see a nice little contest there. We're giving away 5 $50 RP cards, not 10. 50. You just got to click a whole bunch of buttons and you'll be entered in for that. So go ahead and do that while we go on commercial, and we will be back soon. Fnatic versus Existence.